You ever feel that itch in the back of your mind? Like something's off, but you can't quite put your finger on it. That's how I felt for weeks, but I kept brushing it off. We were happy, or at least, I thought we were. Her name's Ashley. We met at a friend's 4th of July cookout last summer. She showed up in cut-off jean shorts, a faded Leonard Sky Nerd tee, and this no-nonsense look in her eyes like she didn't take crap from anyone. We hit it off immediately. I made her laugh with a dumb story about losing my wallet at a gas station, and by the end of the night, we were sitting on the back of someone's truck bed, talking about everything from old movies to our worst exes. A month later, we were official. For nearly a year, I was all in. Dinners, weekends, late-night drives just to get milkshakes. She met my sister. I helped her move into her new apartment in Raleigh. She even kept a drawer for me at her place. Basic stuff, sure, but to me, it meant permanence. Like we were building toward something. Then came the phone call. It was a Thursday night. We were watching The Departed on the couch. Her idea, actually. She loved crime movies, always joked about wanting to be an FBI profiler if she weren't stuck managing a dental office. I remember she had her legs tucked under her, holding a bowl of popcorn when her phone buzzed. She glanced at the screen and instantly straightened up. Didn't answer right away, just stared at it. "You okay?" I asked. "Yeah," she said quickly, too quickly. "Just work." But it wasn't just work. I knew that look. The sudden tightness in her mouth, the way she tucked her hair behind her ear like she always did when she was caught off guard. The phone buzzed again. This time I looked. Not because I meant to snoop, but because she tilted the phone just enough that I couldn't not see it. Eli calling. Now I didn't recognize the name. Ashley had a cousin named Elijah, but she always called him Eli and described him as a human golden retriever who lived 3 states away and worked in pest control. But her reaction didn't scream family. It screamed danger. She silenced the call, locked the screen, and dropped the phone face down on the coffee table. "You sure everything's okay?" I asked again, trying to sound casual. She didn't meet my eyes. "Yeah, just a long day." Then she reached over and kissed me. It felt off, mechanical, like she was trying to distract me. And for the first time since we got together, I kissed her back while wondering who the hell Eli was. The next day, I did something I never thought I'd do, something I'd probably judge someone else for. I checked her phone. She'd left it on the kitchen counter while showering. I stood there for 5 full minutes staring at it. I wasn't proud, but I was already halfway down the rabbit hole and needed to know if I was being paranoid or played. I opened her messages, and there he was. Eli. The last text was from the night before. "I miss you. I hate that we have to be quiet all the time." My stomach dropped. I scrolled up. They'd been texting for months. Jokes, late-night thoughts, pictures, nothing explicit, but definitely not friendly. He called her Ash. Said he loved hearing her voice. She said she hated sneaking around but didn't want to blow everything up yet. I sat down on her bar stool like I'd been punched in the chest. I wasn't just suspicious anymore. I knew. I didn't confront her right away. I couldn't. I just sat there, still gripping the edge of her kitchen counter like it was the only thing keeping me upright. The sound of the shower running in the background suddenly felt too loud, like it was mocking me. She was in there, humming like everything was normal while my world had just split open. Didn't want to blow everything up yet. That word, yet, stuck in my head like a splinter. It meant there was a plan. An exit strategy. A timeline where I got discarded like a piece of old furniture. And worst of all, I hadn't even seen it coming. I locked her phone and put it right back where I found it. When she walked into the kitchen wrapped in a towel, hair dripping down her shoulders, she smiled like nothing had changed. "You want to grab tacos tonight?" I nodded. We went. I know how pathetic that sounds, but here's the thing. When someone you love betrays you, it doesn't hit all at once. It leaks in slowly, like a pipe you didn't know was cracked. You don't just get angry, you get confused. You start questioning everything. Was she pretending this whole time? Was any of it real? That weekend, I started paying closer attention, and I saw it all. The way she kept her phone on silent now. The way she'd disappear into the bathroom for 5 minutes with her phone in hand, the sudden new passwords on her laptop. And, yeah, maybe those things alone could be innocent. But in context, they screamed guilt. I decided I wasn't going to accuse her until I had the full picture. I needed to know who Eli was, what he meant to her, if he was a one-time mistake or something deeper. So I did something else I'm not proud of. I went through her social media, not just the obvious stuff, Instagram, Facebook, but the tagged photos, the comment sections, the stories she didn't think I watched. And I found him. Eli Jacobson lives in Charlotte, works in IT, drives a silver Tacoma, gym selfies, outdoorsy, one of those guys who ends every caption with some overused quote about living life to the fullest. I found a picture from back in June, weeks before she and I went to Charleston for that long weekend. She'd told me she was helping her friend move that day, but there she was. In Eli's story, wearing the same hoodie I'd bought her for her birthday. They were at a lake. She was laughing, holding a beer, and sitting way too close to him on a dock. I don't know how I missed it then. Or maybe I just didn't want to see it. That night, I couldn't sleep. I just lay there next to her in the dark, listening to her breathe, knowing that this woman I thought I was building a future with had someone else's fingerprints all over her past, and probably her present. And that's when I made up my mind. I was going to confront her, but I wasn't going to do it with shouting or accusations. That's what she'd expect. No. I wanted her to feel it. I wanted her to realize just how deep she'd cut, how far she'd fallen in my eyes. So I waited one more day. The next night, we were eating dinner on her balcony, some pasta dish she made while dancing around to an old Taylor Swift playlist. Sunset was hitting the tops of the trees, and for a moment, she looked like the woman I'd fallen for. That's when her phone buzzed again. And, like deja vu, I saw it. Eli calling. This time, I looked her dead in the eye. "Answer it." She froze. "What?" she said, almost laughing, like I'd made a weird joke. I repeated, "Go ahead and answer it. Let's see what he has to say." Her face changed completely. The color drained out. The fake smile fell off her mouth like wet paint. "Jason," she started, but I was already standing. "I know, Ash. I know everything." I watched her shoulders sag like she'd just had her strings cut. But I wasn't done yet. She didn't deny it, didn't cry, didn't scream, didn't beg. Ashley just stood there, frozen, like her body forgot how to move. The phone was still buzzing on the table between us, Eli's name glowing on the screen like a siren, and neither of us touched it. She finally reached for it, slowly hit decline, and set it down without saying a word. I waited. She still said nothing. "You've got one shot to be honest with me," I said, calmer than I expected. "One. I already know enough, but I want to hear it from you." Ashley blinked, swallowed hard, and looked down at her hands. "I didn't mean for it to happen," she said, voice barely above a whisper. "It started before you and I were serious." I almost laughed. "We've been together for nearly a year." She nodded. I know. So when exactly did you decide to keep two guys in rotation?" I asked, bitter creeping in now. "Was there, like, a schedule? Tuesdays and Thursdays for me, weekends for him." "Jason, it wasn't like that." "Then what was it like?" She finally looked up, and to her credit, or maybe to her shame, she looked guilty, like deeply guilty, like the kind of guilt that lives in your chest for months and only gets heavier. "I met Eli 2 years ago. We were off and on. It was messy. We'd break up. Then a few weeks later, he'd call and I'd go back. I knew it was toxic, but I couldn't let go." I nodded slowly. "And then you met me." "Yeah." "And what was I?" "The backup plan." "No," she said, suddenly loud. "No. You were the first person in a long time who made me feel safe. You're good, Jason. You're stable. You're the kind of man I used to think didn't exist." "That's real sweet," I said coldly. "So why were you still sneaking around with Eli?" She didn't answer right away, just looked out at the trees, then back down at her half-eaten plate of pasta. "I didn't trust that it would last with you," she admitted. "Not because of you, because of me. I didn't think I deserved someone who actually cared, so I kept Eli close, just in case." That stung more than I expected. I wasn't some emotional trial run. I was all in. I showed up. I gave her everything. And in return, she'd kept a backup guy on deck, just in case she didn't know how to handle being treated right. "Do you love him?" I asked quietly. She didn't say yes, but she didn't say no either. "I don't know," she whispered. "I think a part of me always will, but it's not the same kind of love." "And what about me?" I asked. She didn't answer. That silence told me everything. I stood up, walked into her apartment, and grabbed the few things I still had there. My hoodie, my toothbrush, the book I'd been reading on her nightstand. She followed me to the door, but didn't try to stop me. "I was gonna tell you," she said softly. "Eventually." I looked at her, really looked at her, one last time. No, I said. You were going to let me find out when it hurt the most. Then I walked out. The first week after the breakup was quiet, almost too quiet. No calls from her, no texts, not even a drunk apology at 2 in the morning. And that made it hurt more somehow. She moved on. Or maybe she went back. I didn't know. I didn't want to know. But then something weird happened. 2 weeks later, I got a DM on Instagram. It was from Eli. Hey man, I think we need to talk. I stared at the message for a full minute. Hey man, I think we need to talk. Just 10 words from a guy I'd never met, but suddenly everything in me was bracing for impact. My heart was pounding again, just like the night I first saw his name on her phone. I clicked his profile, half expecting it to be fake. Nope, it was him. Same Eli I'd found before. Gym selfies, hiking trails, shirtless boating photos, and the same silver Tacoma in the background of more than one picture. His bio said something like, tech nerd, adventure junkie, believer in second chances. I almost didn't reply, but curiosity has a way of eating at you. So I messaged back, I'm listening. He replied within 2 minutes. Not here. Can we talk on the phone? I think we both got played. That night, I sat on the tailgate of my truck in the apartment parking lot, phone in hand, staring up at the sky while Eli told me the entire story. They'd been together on and off for 2 years, just like Ashley said, but unlike what she told me, their breakup hadn't been so clean. She ghosted me in January, he said, just cut off contact. I figured it was over until she texted me again in March, saying she was confused. Said she needed time. Then she came to see me one weekend in June, but kept acting weird, like she didn't want to be seen in public. Yeah, I muttered. That was the same weekend she told me she was helping a friend move. Exactly, he said. So I got suspicious. I didn't even know your name until I saw a photo on her fridge when I came by a few weeks ago. I blinked. She let you in her apartment. Yeah, said her roommate was out. Ashley didn't have a roommate. So I asked her, he continued, straight up, who's the guy in the picture? That's when she finally admitted it, that she was seeing someone else. Said she didn't know how to choose. I let out a sharp breath. And you stayed. I left, he said. Blocked her for a week, but then she called. She always calls. There was something in his voice, exhaustion maybe, or regret, that made me feel weirdly sorry for him. You still talking to her? I asked. He was quiet for a beat. Not anymore, he said. I just wanted you to know, man. I've been where you are. Thought I was the only one too. I nodded slowly. Yeah. Well, now we both know. Before we hung up, he said something I wasn't expecting. She said you were different, that you were the first guy who made her question everything. I didn't say anything to that. What could I say? In the weeks that followed, I tried to move on, got back into the gym, reconnected with old friends, dated casually, but I was always guarded, always waiting for someone's phone to buzz with a name I didn't know. I never heard from Ashley again, not until almost 2 months later. It was a Thursday. I came home to find a small envelope taped to my door. No name, just my apartment number scrawled in her handwriting. Inside was a note. I don't expect you to forgive me. I just need you to know that I wasn't lying about how I felt. You made me feel seen. You made me feel safe. I never had that before, and I ruined it because I didn't know how to handle something real. I hope someday, when the pain softens, you'll remember the good parts too. I'm sorry. A. I read it once, then again, then set it down and walked to the sink to pour myself a glass of water, but ended up standing there with the faucet running, my throat burning like I'd swallowed a damn match. She never asked me to take her back. She didn't need to. That letter wasn't about her anymore. It was about me, about closing the door on someone I thought was it. It's been almost a year now. I haven't seen her since. Sometimes I still wonder if she ended up with Eli, if they made it work, or crashed and burned like we did. But mostly, I wonder how I missed it all, how love can feel so real and still be half a lie. These days, I keep my circle small. I listen more. I watch closer, and I don't ignore the itch in the back of my mind anymore, because once you've been the second choice, you never forget the feeling.